Hey everybody, it's Miriam here at the Paper Wheel Studio. I am filming live from my front porch again. And today I just wanted to bring you along while I try some different things with these. I don't know if you've picked up these Tim Holtz. Well, that has something that spilled on it there, but it actually kind of looks neat because it looks like a coffee stain. Anyway, I don't know if you might have picked up these Tim Holtz little folders. They come in a package, and this is the way they come. I must have two packages because I have some identical ones here. I just brought along all the ones that I think I had, and just to give you some ideas about what you can do to add more character to these, I guess. They are coated, kind of more so on the outside than the inside, so you could use them as is, but I kind of like to add some other things on top so you can see the lines and things through them. This one I was playing around and just added some flowers, so I'm going to leave those there. And I brought along some of the things I had in my previous video. I brought me some brown napkin, some neutral collage papers, some book page. I doubt I will use any the light colored floral things with this, so I'm going to just lay them over here to the side. There's some white napkin or tissue paper one, I'm not sure which. And I really kind of like this green, so it might get added in. So I'm just going to kind of lay these to the side, and if I decide to use them after all, I will pull from there and we'll use them. So I want to put something on this first one that is kind of see-through, so I thought maybe I'd start with the white napkin piece, and I believe this is just, there might be 2 plies here. Let me double check. Of course I didn't bring tape along to help me out here. However, I'm beginning to think, and of course I thought that with the other one too. Those are really stuck together. But my plan is to Mod Podge this on here. Then I can use my inks and things to grunge it up and see what we get when it dries. So let me cut my piece down a little bit so I'm not working with such a large piece here. I also have my brown napkin that was left over from yesterday's project. Let's see. Cut this right down the middle. Good.
Let me try.
I got it. Thank you. Alright. Just cut that right down the middle. Have my helper on standby today, in case I need her. Alright, so I'm going to lay that over to the side and set my little, this is just Mod Podge that I put in a little container, because it's easier for me to use it from that. Alright, so let's put the other folders over here. And this is another one of those where I'm going to put the stuff down, and I will then need to let it dry for a while. But with the magic of video, you won't have to wait while it's drying. I'll be the only one waiting. Alright, I cut it just slightly. Let me see if this, well, it's going to be the same, Miriam, because you cut it right down the middle. Alright, we'll go with it. We'll put it right to this edge. That'll leave me a little bit of an edge on that side that's not quite covered, that I can always come back. Oh, here, that's folded. That will help. There we go. I can always come back and add a piece up there if I need to. So first of all, I'm going to just cover my entire folder with my Mod Podge. So I've got a Mod Podge brush here that I picked up on Amazon. It lets me put more down at one time than the smaller paint brushes do. Plus it's easier for me to handle. Let's get the old book page piece off there that I don't need anymore. And when you're done, you don't want to let your Mod Podge dry on your brush, because it creates quite a mess to get washed out of your brush. if anything, put your brush in wet paper towels or in water when you're finished if you don't immediately wash it, because it will cause you some issues. I'm just going to put a nice coat on here. I'm not very artistic. That's about the talent of my flower drawing you see there. So if you're artistic, you go right ahead and draw with them. You could use any marker that would not smear, because since it is the coated, probably a quick dry marker would be best. You could also paint on them if you chose. I'm just going to make sure I don't have a whole bunch there in that fold. Alright, so I'm just going to lay this down, starting with this side. I'm going to try to put it as close to that edge as I can get it without messing things up here. And I don't mind the wrinkles because that adds character, and you can come back and ink those, and they look really, really awesome on here. So I'm kind of letting it wrinkle a bit. I think that'll look really neat when we go to ink that at a later time once it's dry. And today for now I'm just going to do the outsides, and when they are dry I might just come back in there and do the insides. We'll see time-wise what we have here. So I have that, and I'm going to go ahead and put some more Mod Podge down here where it's not quite covered, and take a piece from the top. That piece of book pages needs to go. We're going to put it up there out of the way. So I'm going to get some down along my edge here, and I think I can just tear some from that other end and put down here, and we'll be covered. And you can still see the little bit of flowers poking its little head through, and you'll see even more once we coat the top of this with the Mod Podge, because we're going to coat the top as well as the bottom. It'll have a nice coating, but it'll also, you'll be able to write on it, glue to it, decorate them up in any way that you might want to. Once they're completely dry, there we go, got it. Stick that back down where it came up. Doesn't matter if it's torn because we're going to coat it. You could even use pieces of this. I think what I did there though is folded that, and I don't want that to be folded, so we'll scrape a little bit of that fold off there, so that, yeah, we don't want a big goopy goop right there along that fold or along that edge. So let's do this. Tear me another piece that hopefully I can get it long out of this. A longer piece. Because, well, it's not going to tear very easily, so here we go. We'll piece it in there like that. Again, I'm going to be going over the top of it, so it does not matter. Put that down there. And we just need another smaller piece. Here we go. Don't tear into my folder. There we go. Alright. And we'll just put this piece down here like this. Now I'm going to take my Mod Podge and cover the whole folder again on top of this. So those wrinkles will get nice and sealed in there. Spread it out good. Might get a few more wrinkles, but often when you use Mod Podge, if your stuff wrinkles up, when you dry the wrinkles, unless you made them stay in there, usually will straighten your project right out. That piece did its things. I'm going to push it down with my fingers there, along there, so I don't, it's not obvious we had to piece it. Hope not. There we go. Okay. Now, we got a little dried glue there. Pull that off. Make sure we got this side good, and then we'll do the other side. And I did not get any right there. Or right there. Okay, that side is covered well. I've had these folders for quite some time trying to think, what can I do or how can I use those? And I thought of this and I thought this would just be a nice way to work them into a journal, give them a different look. I like the office look in the background with the dots or lines or even my flowers on this one. I do like that in the background, but I didn't want them to be, they look too brand new to put into a journal. And I didn't want them to look brand new. So we're going to cover with the Mod Podge and make them look a little distressed with some ink. All right, one down, 4 or 5 more to go. Oh, why'd you pull up on me? You weren't supposed to do that. Okay. I probably have glue on my mat. You know what, that piece just wants to keep coming off there. So we're just gonna Mod Podge that corner and leave it as it is and see how it comes out. Okay, just laying these over to the side. Hold that back. Make sure those sides are good and pressed down there, and they are. That one's good. Okay. Lay that off to the side and do another one. This one I think we will use the digitals that I printed on the newsprint for it. I think I have a full-size one that will be really good. I just have to get rid of that piece of white paper on my fingers so I don't glue my fingers down. Okay, so we're going to grab another one. And what did I say I'd use this time? The digitals, that's right. Should probably have a cloth, but oh, we don't want to do the inside, we're doing outsides only right now, Miriam. Okay, let's see where my digital pieces that I printed are. Here we go. Clear down under here. Well, maybe. There is a page there that's going to be very useful. We've used white napkins, so I'll lay that off of there so I don't get lost in my shuffle of stuff. Let's just go ahead and use a brown napkin, and we'll work our way down to those other, there's a few digitals there, but we'll work our way down to the others, and maybe we'll just do a random collage on one of them as well. This isn't going to do the whole thing, so let's do this. Put this down, and then we will add in, let's do it on the back of the tab side. We'll add in on this other end. All right, that looks good. So we'll cover it all with, of course, the Mod Podge. Now, if you don't have Mod Podge, you can make your own. You just take any white PVA glue and mix it 2 parts water to 1 part glue. You can mix it really at any consistency you like, so you can experiment with it. If you find that that's too runny, just add less water to your glue. You just want your glue to be the consistency of this Mod Podge, which is very spreadable. I think this time I'm going to go ahead and put my napkin down, and we'll just start with this piece up here and see how far it will go for me, which is probably not very far. Okay, we got that, and then let's cut this extra off instead of trying to tear it this time, and we'll put it on the other end of this. Ooh, look how that's, I hope that actually comes out like that. Look at that. Doesn't that look like just super cool? You see all the little wrinkles in that? Doesn't that look really cool? Have you all ever heard of cicada paper? I believe it's made out of cicada wings. I got some on Temu. We're going to give it a try. It actually has a little bit of weight to it, and it doesn't just tear apart like napkin or tissue paper does. If you have some brown tissue paper and you want to make it, you know, the brown colors, you could use brown tissue paper as well. It must not have gotten the edge there with that piece, so let's get some more in there. So the choice is really yours as to what you would use to cover these. And doing something like this is just a very simple little project. All you've got is your cleanup once you've got everything covered. And whatever mess you make with your Mod Podge. You could probably do it without a mess, but you know me, I can't do anything without a mess, right? So, I'll flip this around and get the rest of it on here. Make sure I'm clear to the edges. There we go. I am on that side, and now I am on this side. There we go. We'll put this down. I'm not sure if it's longer that way or longer this way. I think this way will be good. Bring that down to where we need it to meet up with the other piece. Try to pull that back out. Good, it didn't rip on me. Just pressing it down here. Wrinkles and all. Okay, now we got that part covered. So I'm going to pull a few of those out. There we go. Got that part covered, and we got to put the rest on the other half of the folder. Don't want to watch me Mod Podge, you can just fast forward to the part where I show you what happens when they're dry. And don't forget, if you're watching a YouTube video and you think it's kind of going slow, put it in 2 times the speed. You'll watch it faster, and it only takes you half the time to watch video. Sometimes I'll do that, depending on who I'm watching, especially if I don't need to listen to every little instruction of what they're giving. I suppose it's something you could do in front of your own television if you wanted to. You have a place to do it in front of a TV. Oh, got a white place. Pop it out. Oh, got some more white popping out there. Rats. Where is that? You don't want white. We're going to really patch you in there. There we go. Now we're just going to cover the whole thing with Mod Podge and let it dry. Should I get my tab good? And push that back over so I can make sure I got this corner good. Seems to be my troublemaker. It's amazing the effect. If you've never done anything with glue or Mod Podge, I highly recommend it because it gives you a really neat effect on your papers. You could even just cover your papers themselves with the Mod Podge or glue and see what you come up with. In fact, I might do that with some of my tissue papers that I have left over, so you can see how it does that. If I do, I'll cover them off camera and then show you what they are like when I bring you back. I want to show you the cicada paper, and then I'll probably cover the rest of these off camera because I know it's boring just watching me paint here. And we'll show you what they look like when I'm all done today. in a matter of seconds. It'll be like, boom, they're dry. The magic of videoing. Nope, don't stick, don't stick. Go back on there, go back there in the corner. All right. Lay that baby to the side to dry. Okay, and let's try the cicada paper now. Okay, this is a piece of the cicada paper. You can see how, I mean, it tears, but not super duper. It's not gonna fall apart while you're working with it. So let's get a piece of it cut. Make sure I don't cut it too short this time. There we go. Cut a piece of this. And put it down on here, and I'll do the rest of them off and camera, and I'll show you what they look like once they're dry. And tomorrow's video, I'm going to use them and make something with them. Have an idea? Hopefully it'll work out. I think it will. Save some of that cicada paper because I think that will help my idea tomorrow. Yeah, this is a lot sturdier than just plain brown tissue paper for sure. Okay, let's go ahead and cut some of this off so I'm not working with white so much. I'm just going to try to use that natural fold, but I don't think I need to. No. Okay. And on this one, before I put it down, I'm going to wad it all up and make it all nice and wrinkly, and then I'm going to put it down on here. So, but look how the corners of that look. How it's got, the ink is just different on the edges than the rest of it. In fact, we're going to push this folder over there, and we're going to take advantage of those edges. Yes, we are. Okay, so I'm going to just simply put this one down on top of it. Again, opening it up all the way to get my Mod Podge on it. And that way you can see how, where's my, there it is, plain sight. I need to get some more, or make me some more Mod Podge before the day's over. That's alright, I think I have enough to get this project done. I also want to Mod Podge that journal cover that we did the other day and let it dry, so I have my signature all ready to go into it. So I'll be decorating with that in the future and working with it some. Oop, blue stick, you don't belong, get out of there. Now I just put my piece of cicada under this to collect some of the extra Mod Podge. I don't think it's going to cause a problem. I don't think the cicada paper will tear when I pick it up, but we'll see here. Hopefully not. I've never worked with the cicada paper before. It's something new. Well, I laid these out to dry, and poof, within minutes, they're dry. I want to bring these back and show you how they turned out. I got my distress ink here. I have, this one is the brown napkin, and it kind of separated right here, but that's okay because I'm going to try inking that up. On some of these edges, I'll show you what I did on a few of them. I'm not going to ink this one right at the moment. You'll lay it over here to the side. This is, would you believe, this is brown dyed dryer sheets. Does that not look absolutely amazing? Like it's already been inked and everything. Let's just try adding some ink around it and see what we get on this one. You could turn these into little ephemera. You could put pockets on the inside and make them ephemera holders. You could put paper on the inside and make them journals. You could just simply put a little bit of writing space on the inside or slip them in a journal of some kind. Yeah, that's... And I don't know if you can see it. However, these have little fuzzies all along the edge, and each one of those, the dauber went to the floor, but I'm going to just use my ink pad here. Each one of these is going to pick up that ink. So it's giving it a real dark edge along the edge. Ooh, I like that. Let's go ahead and ink this one all the way. We'll just take this one all the way. Oh yeah, check that out. Oh, I don't know if can you see it, the way that's inked? Up against this one, you sure can. Yeah. So, start saving your dryer sheets, folks. And you can use them to not only dust with, save a few. This I'm going to really grunge up this corner here because there was a piece of my folder that did not take the ink, so I just went ahead and cut it off and made it look funky. I think that's the quarter I cut. Maybe not, but anyway, I still grunged it up a bit there, didn't I? So I'm just using my ink pad to get a little more extra ink where I want it to go. There we go. Got it. Just going all the way around it. And all these little fuzzies on the edge are picking up the ink. So we'll do this side. And I think this one, other than some decoration and putting something on the inside, will be done. The outside is all ready to go. You can just add whatever you'd like. Add a little extra to all the corners. There we go. I just love how that turned out. We'll put that to the side and it's ready to go. Still needs something done on the inside, and I got a little ink on the inside, but I'll let that all dry and come back and we'll take care of the inside. This piece is the cicada paper that I'd never used before, so I want to run my dauber over this and see how it looks once the wrinkles take up some of this ink. Oh my goodness, look at this. Just like they were meant to be there. Wow. It's really emphasizing all the wrinkles here. Yep. Okay. This is a corner I cut off of my folder right here. If you look from the inside, you can see it's just straight across there. What I'm going to do is ink it up good, and I'll use my little sander and do a little sanding on that corner after the ink is dry. I'm not quite sure how well the edges will take this ink, but it seems to be doing okay. Go ahead and get this half done, and then I'll do the edges on do across the bottom and the edges around the other side, and some wrinkles on the other side. Whoops, accidentally got that on the ink pad because I don't close my ink pad. Yes, I know. Close your ink pad, Miriam, and that would not happen. Yes, you are correct. However, I didn't. Just giving that a little bit more ink. It doesn't look want it to look like different sections have gotten more ink than others. So it doesn't look like, you know, fake. Put it along this edge. This really gives us a great coating. The cicada dyed paper, or cicada paper, would be great for a journal cover. This little piece here is covered well enough that it could become a mini journal on its own, and it would look really super cool. Let's get up here and get some ink on that one, and we want to get some more on these other corners from the other side. Here we go. Let's get some more on this baby. Yeah, I like that. That looks just super cool. Okay, we'll need to put something down on the inside of these. Didn't do that yet because they had to dry one way. I'll probably wait till I go to use them to put something down on the inside. Oh. Well, since my dauber hit the floor, I'm going to call this one quits for today. I also wanted to show you this little bit here that I used my sander to create this little divot here. And I'm going to ink around it and make sure I get that inked well. This is the envelope that I covered. So I now have a tea dyed. This is one that back several videos ago when I was using my spritzes and sprays in April's ABC challenge. On letter S, I used spritzes and sprays and did some tea dye or tea bags, and this is one of those from that. Just simply covered this piece of envelope. I can ink it. I folded it over the bottom, so now I've got it. It was not closed on the bottom. Now I have the yellow closed envelope. This was old newspaper, and that's how the Mod Podge dried on it. And I just kind of collaged some old dictionary and another piece of that newspaper and my leftover piece of a bingo card from the other day. And on this last one, I just simply glued down green tissue paper. This was on an envelope for a card I received. I fussy cut it out and put it down there to be the edge on that. And on the inside, I just simply glued down a piece of white napkin that had the flowers on it, and you can still write on this on the inside if you want to use it for writing space as well. So that's what I have for you. Oh no, let me show you one more thing. I used my Mod Podge on this tag, and can you see with the glue Mod Podge? No. Yeah. Was this Mod Podge or just glue Mod? I think this was regular Mod Podge, but you can see the surface it gives. Mine was supposed to be matte. You still get a little bit of shininess with it. And you'll do that with your glues as well. So, video's getting a little on the long side here, folks, so we will bring these back, and I did decorate the one a little bit. We'll bring these back and decorate them in a future decorating video, which will be coming up soon. I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.